Yo, yo,
Yo, Laurent, tell me, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing amazing, man.
You doing amazing?
Yeah, amazing, fantastic.
How amazing are you doing?
Jeez, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd say a bang on 10, man.
From a scale of one to draw, how good are you doing?
1 to draw, eh? I can say not a loss. Yeah,
Yo,
we haven't hit that side of the scale yet this season, in case
what-
you're wondering.
how are you gonna be Centurion if you're struggling?
Oh, you can still be Centurions with two draws.
Yo,
Usually,
how are you gonna be Centurion when Bournemouth is ahead of you?
bro, it's still early in the season, man. Come on.
Early in the season.
Very early in the season. Just allow the things to brew, man. Allow the first game of the Champions League to seep in. And then that's when, the magic happens.
Hmm.
Yeah.
CJ, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, fam. I'm feeling all right. Picked up a big 3 points over the weekend, and things are looking nice, man. I can't lie.
Okay.
How you feeling?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Aside from the little bruise I got on my arm from the sport that you guys always make fun of me about. Blessed. You know? I do have battle wounds, like it's real. I actually go on and play. I don't just talk about it. Um
Yeah. Sure you're getting tackled out there too, eh?
yo, I
Or
100% sliding deep
mm,
into, they're sliding into second base. I'm trying to turn a double play. Um yeah. Yo, CJ, who'd you end up? How many points did you score in your FPL this week?
Geez, let me tell you right now. So I captained Salah, and my vice captain was Haaland, but I feel like I should have swapped it the other way around because Haaland did damage this week still.
Laurent, you'll
But I
be
got
proud of my captain.
sorry?
You'll be proud of my captain. 3 weeks in a row.
Who?
Jao Pedro, baby.
Oh, are you serious?
Deadass? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can't see. I'll
Yeah, you can't
send you a
really see it.
screenshot. I'll send you a screenshot.
Hey,
Yeah, Jao Pedro's my captain. I scored 77 points this week.
oh
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I got 68.
Yeah. Becker, Gabriel, Anderson, Reynaldo, Semenyo, Grealish was my vice captain. Florian Wirtz, Eze, João Pedro is my captain. Gyökeres and Mateta.
Mm,
Yeah. Don't sleep on Mateta, man. He's been killing it.
mm. Fuck. I dropped one in my standings. I'm cheesed. I went from fifth to sixth. Fuck. That's not good.
Yeah.
And my
Well,
team's looking a little shaky.
back again, guys. 43. Episode 43 fucking episodes. We're almost at the big 5-0. We're gonna have to do a special pod on that one. Um, but as always, joined by my co-host, my brethren, my brother, the blanket master, the one and only Mr. Piana himself.
Hey, you already know.
Pianas.
You
He
already know.
Pianas. Oh fuck. And then we got the fresh king of Bel Air, the mean mugging king of Bel Air coming in with his tea, sipping that coffee. Oh, look at the pinky up. Okay. Okay, got a fresh cut from new mean mugging face. Trying to, wipe the mean mug away from his forehead, but it's still there, bro. CJ, how you doing?
These are some long intros, bro. Goddamn, cut to the chase, bro. Fuck.
Oh, fuck. No, bro. What do you mean? I, I'm happy. 3 points,
Mm.
three fucking points, and the manner that we did it too. Um, yeah, 3 points. The Arsenal. Zubimendi with a brace. Gyökeres with the third. Um, keep things happy. We're not going to talk about someone who you've been asking to hit the weight room and take some creatine and mass gainer. Um, Madueke is real.
Yo, this is what I'm talking about.
If
Finally,
you
some
hold on,
respect.
if
Some
you go
respect.
back a couple pods, I did say
Some
when we signed Madueke, I did say he's going to be a good signing for us. One, and secondly, I think it was like two pods ago when Saka was injured. CJ told me to pause when I said I think we'll be fine without Saka. Not to say that I want Saka to be injured and out of the team, but the fact that we have a legitimate right winger, like we're going to be fine until he comes back. And Madueke has shown that. The most take-ons in the game. He actually looked dangerous every single time that he picked up the ball. And the thing with him is, I don't know if CJ, you'll agree with me with this. Every time he gets the ball, he's ready for another sprint. He's just ready to go. It's not like he gets the ball and he's trying to go lateral. No, no, no. He gets the ball, he faces you, and then he just takes you on every single time. There's not one time that I've seen him get the ball and he's just like, stuttering, like, what do I want to do with it? He's coming down the byline and he wants to get the ball into dangerous areas. Defensively, you can tell he's trying to work on it. And his in-swinging corners, like I don't know what Nicholas Jover did in a week with that international break or prior to that and what they're doing on the training ground. Like he's had some pretty decent crosses, especially in this game too. Um, but yeah, from my side, and Christian Mosquera, can we just give this man his plaudits? Like one of the most unreal signings and underrated signings that we've had. You saw that tackle that he made in the box?
Mm-hmm.
Last ditch tackle? Like that's a Saliba-esque tackle. And to have the ability to be able to bring someone in like this, and again, obviously we can't compare him to Saliba's level, but when we start playing Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games, we can genuinely give Saliba and Gabriel a full rest. We can play Calafiori, Hincapié. We can play Timber, Ben White. Like the versatility this year to be able to give players a rest is something that we haven't had for the last 3 years that we finished second place. I don't know if you agree with me, CJ, but I don't think we've had this much depth.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot to talk about here, but I think first and foremost, I think that's a good starting point is talking about our squad depth and how genuinely this is probably the best squad we've had since our glory days, since like I'm going back to the Invincibles. I'm going back maybe even before that. Like yes, the Invincibles had an elite starting 11, but I don't even know if the Invincibles squad was better than this squad. Like this squad is legit. You got two in every position and like quality depth in every position. And I think Madueke is a good starting point when we're talking about this. Obviously people like myself were I think what we've come around to understanding and realizing is that yeah, like people like myself were upset with the signing at the time, and I think it was about the timing of that signing, because before we signed I think Madueke even came before Gyökeres, if I'm not
You
mistaken.
did. That's what you said. You said if the other people come, Madueke is a great. You weren't mad at it. Like you said that he was a
Hmm.
good player.
Hmm.
You said you just didn't want him to cause us to not get Eze over the line because you said Gyökeres we were going to get, but it was
Yeah.
more so for you. It was not being able to get the left winger.
Yeah, honestly, thank you. I'm glad you acknowledged that because yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like okay, we got Madueke for that sum of money. Well, let's see what else we're gonna do. Because if that signing and the funds allocated to that signing prevented us from getting other business done that we needed, then yeah, I have a problem with it. But now, when you look at the end of the window and look at the business that we did and the players that we brought in, still, yeah, Madueke looks like a good piece to the already great puzzle, in my opinion. So now I can look with that with a little bit more of a positive light. And I never hated on the player. Like I think he's a good player. I even thought he was a good player at Chelsea. I wasn't sure why he wasn't getting as much airtime and playing time at Chelsea. To be honest with you, but um, yeah, so I was kind of surprised that was surprised by the whole deal in general. The money that we spent towards him, the fact that Chelsea let him go and let him go so easily. Um, all that to say, like, yeah, we'll happily take him now, and he's proving to be well worth it when you look at Saka. And at this point, I'm saying like Champions League midweek, I'm not even rushing Saka back, right? Once upon a time, we had to rush him back. Now it's like, yo, Saka, you can take an extra week or two off, buddy. Like, you know, because it's a long season, and obviously we're gonna need Saka, and hamstrings you can't fuck around with, right? I think you can tell, we can all here agree that maybe we did rush Saka back a little bit early the end of last season. We needed him for the Champions League ties and whatnot, but we'll get into this, but there's a controversial topic here. I mean, does Madueke get dropped even for Man City? I don't think so. On this form, the way he's been playing,
I wouldn't
you
drop
know,
him.
I would arguably say like obviously Zubimendi got the 2 goals, so you have to give him man of the match. But I think Madueke on the performance and on the eye test, I think he was the best performer in the game. Um, and Laurent, I don't know if you meant this like sarcastically or not, but like when I mentioned in the group chat on Saturday morning, like I said, yeah, he's cooking. You said meh, like so I don't know how you feel or how you thought of his performance, but before I let you come in, Laurent, one thing I wanted to say about him, is that, and then Murdad, I think you hit this point too, is that one thing that's refreshing about him and having him in the side is that he wasn't looking to play safe. He wasn't looking to play like, lateral. He's going to get the ball. He's going to maybe hesitate a little bit, pretend like he's going to beat his man, and then, oh, I'm just going to play it back to the fullback, or, oh, I'm going to take it and play it back to the central midfielder. Like, you knew what his intention was every time as soon as he got the ball. And he cooked the left back every time. Like, bro, the guy couldn't live with him. Like, literally. It's not even always about, like, whether you actually beat him or not. It's the fact that you're fucking tiring out your fullback every time you try and take him on. You know what I mean? It gets exhausting for a defender, whether it worked or not. You know what I mean? He's taking that risk, right? And people call Arteta, including myself, I've said this too, that he's risk avert, or like he's scared to have those kind of players who are going to take the risks. But it was, how refreshing was it in this game to see Madueke and an Eze? You knew what they were going to do every time they got the ball. They're willing to take a risk. They're willing to drive forward. They're willing to be direct. Like, it's so refreshing to see, as opposed to having wingers who, even like the Jack Grealish style under Pep Guardiola, is like, you're gonna shimmy, you're gonna fake a little bit, you're gonna pretend like you're gonna beat your man, but then you're just gonna lay it off. It's like, no, none of that. You're gonna be direct. You're gonna drive. You're gonna try and get into the box. And for me, it's like, one thing I'll say about Madueke, obviously he needs to improve his end product. I think he needs to get his timing of his deliveries right when he gets to the final ball in the box, because most of the time when he did beat his fullback, maybe he took one touch too many, or he delivered the ball, but it didn't go to our man, and like, their defenders were able to clear it off the line and out for a corner, whatever. With Saka, more often than not, you find that um, Saka's end product is unquestionable, right? He puts up the numbers, he puts up the goals, the assists. He more often than not, he picks out his man. Heck, even you saw Eze do it with the second goal. All Eze needed was boom, one touch on his left foot over the top. That was a great pass, very underrated, that not many people are talking about. One time on his left foot, ball over the top. He found Gyökeres beautifully, and Gyökeres did the rest, right? So Madueke, I think, needs to work on that part of it. Is once you beat your man, right? Just find somebody, right? Make sure that ball gets there and gets to somebody, because more often than not, like I said, he was either taking an extra touch, or maybe by the time he takes that extra touch, the defender gets set, and then they're able to get in position to clear it, right? And that was happening a lot. So he needs to work on his end product, but there's absolutely no question that he's dangerous, to be honest. And before we continue analyzing the rest of the game, like, yeah, Laurent, what did you think? Because I'm curious to know your take on his performance. I'm not sure if you felt that he played well, or if you have other ideas, but what are your thoughts on Madueke specifically?
Well, yeah, if I'm being completely honest, he played well. Um, was it right, exceptional, star type player? I'd say no. We've seen, as a former Chelsea player, we've seen those type of performances from it. Right, so that's when you guys were kind of like glorifying him, and then even like remember that today when you introduced him, right, as if he's the savior for Arsenal FC. It's like I think you guys have to allow for time to, take its course. Also, right, he did have a consistency issue with us.
Mhm.
So that's the other thing, right? How many games have we played so far? Four, I believe. And I don't know how many of those games he did start or he participated in for you guys, right? But again, sample size is still small, right? We all hope for good form, right? For players to show up and play well. And I say, yeah, just give the guy time, right? No pressure. And truly, if you had the talent all along, I think it will show. But yeah, so that for me is what I'll say is just a cautionary tale because the same level of excitement you guys had, right? That you guys are currently experiencing right now. Just imagine how many times you've had it for this guy for Noni, right?
Well,
We
to be
back.
fair,
Mhm,
Tuchel liked him, and every manager at Chelsea that came in, they all tried to give him the opportunity. So maybe it does come down to your point of the consistency piece, but I
mhm,
also think him knowing that it's just him and Saka, like competing for that position, but also knowing that he has the ability because as his flexibility is that he can play in the midfield and will come to the injury for midweek and potentially for the game next week. Like I think it's also that piece of it too. Like I think the man management at Chelsea after a while, I think you'll agree with this too. Like there's too many players. Like you don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
mhm.
Um because when Tuchel was there, he relied on Madueke a lot.
That's
And he
true.
still does. He still does in the England squad, right? Like,
Hmm.
Mhm.
so I do agree with you. I think the inconsistency piece is there, but I I don't like personally for me, I wouldn't need him to produce like this every single game, but he gives us something that we didn't have. And that's the piece, right? Like you can't predict what he's going to do anymore. Whereas last year or the year before, you could always predict what's going to happen when you play Arsenal, right? But right now, the unpredictability is something that, yes, we lost to Liverpool because of an unreal strike by Szoboszlai, but we've been quite unpredictable the first four games. You don't know what you don't know what's going to happen. Like when we saw the lineup, when we saw Marino instead of Rice, we're like, wait, what? But Marino has had an unreal international break where he scored a hat trick.
Hmm.
Whereas last year you would have never seen that. You would have never you knew who was starting every single week. But now to be able to use that squad depth and have someone that comes in that's like for like and he can do a job, um, I think there's different types of pressure on Madueke, and I think he's going to perform well this year. I'm not saying he's going to score like 15 goals and assists, but I think he's going to play a crucial role in making sure Saka's injury is nipped in the butt early, right? Like even it means that he's out for another week or two, it's not a problem because you know that you're not like the level isn't being dropped that significantly, right? You're not relying on a 17-year-old who hasn't been playing competitively at a high level for many years. You're relying on a Champions League winner. Like he's been there, done that. So
Was he in the squad when they won the Champions League?
I believe so, yeah. Laurent, well, you would know this.
2020? I don't
Yes,
think so. Was he?
yes, yes.
2020 or 2021?
Yeah, somebody fact check that. But
That
yeah,
could be.
while we're fact checking, I think no, you and that's the thing as well, Merdad, is that mind you, and Laurent, like this is crucial to point out. Like mind you, we're not relying on him, right? He's a squad. He's our squad player. Saka's still our main man, so it's not like we're relying on him. As you said, we don't need him to get 15 goals, right? That's not necessarily his job to get the numbers, to get the 15 goals a season, right? If he can do what he's doing now, and he can be efficient in his play, and he can have a little bit more end product, that's more than enough, right? To be competition, to be support for Saka. But at the end of the day, Saka's still the main man. So Madueke is not going to play on that right side week in, week out if Saka's fully fit, right?
He overspoke. I'm sorry. He was
No, I
not.
don't think he was. Yeah, I don't think he was there. No.
Wasn't. But again, he still won the Mickey Mouse Trophy conference.
You. Oh, I thought you were gonna say Club World Cup, where I don't think he was even
No, he didn't.
there for that either.
No, he didn't participate.
Yeah.
Before we move on from this game, Martin Ødegaard landed on his shoulder. Looks like another repeat injury. I don't. I hope this doesn't come out wrong, but I'm not like going into this week and going into next weekend. I'm not really like I don't have the same concern level. Like I don't know how to I don't know how to describe the feeling. Like, I'm not like, holy fuck, like what are we gonna do? I'm like, okay, he's injured. Eze goes in there. Rice comes back to his left eight. Zubimendi's there, and then we play Trossard or Martinelli. And if Saka's not back, then Madueke's still there. Like I'm not overly concerned being like, oh shit, like how are we gonna fill this position? I don't know if CJ you're in the same boat as me or if I'm just, like underplaying it. Um,
Yeah, well, again, see, there's what we would do, and then there's what the manager would do. You say Eze goes in there, but it's like, will he, or will he keep Eze on the left and bring in Ethan Wanieri? Right, that's the thing.
even if he does that, I'm not worried. Like I think he's had enough cameos to show that he can take that position and he can do well.
Mm. There's an argument right now that I'm hearing from a lot of the fan base is that we're playing better with Ethan Wanieri in the side as opposed to an Odegaard. Like we're playing more direct, we're playing more on the front foot because Ethan is more so that kind of player, right? He's kind of like an Eze and a Madueke in the sense that he's going to drive at the defender, right? He's going to look to be progressive. He's going to take that positive first touch and instantly just go forward and run. Whereas Martin Odegaard, maybe he's a little bit more safe on the ball. He's a little bit more, let's knock the ball around, let's keep it, right? Ethan's going to want to drive at you right away. Um, so that's the thing. We do play a little bit more quick and a little bit more direct with Ethan in the side, which is again a refreshing thing, is a positive thing. Some would say, but yeah, long term, like if Odegaard was out for a long period of time, I don't know about you, but I think I would still prefer Eze in the central role to be that replacement cam, so to speak, or that number 10. That's just my opinion. Ethan, again, obviously he's still a young boy, but if we're relying on Ethan in a title race, like again, let's say Odegaard was out for 3-4 months, right? Knock on wood, obviously, whatever. Um, if he was out for an extended period of time, can we rely on an Ethan Wanieri at 18 years old to carry us as our creative outlet, our main creative outlet in that number 10 role for a team that's going for a title? I'm not so sure. I think the ideal replacement would be an Eze. Um,
If
but
it's short term, I agree with you. I think it would be Wanyeri that goes in there. If
mm,
it's long-term injury, I think Arteta wouldn't mess around. He would just get Eze in there right now to acclimate.
mm,
Because you don't want to waste any time. You want to get him in that position that he's going to play for a couple months.
mhm,
He can build those connections with Gyökeres, Madueke, and Rice. So
mhm,
hopefully it's not long term because as much as Odegaard does play it safe, like he does have that in his locker to be a very creative number 10. He did it a few years ago where he was compared to De Bruyne. So let's hope it's short term, but I just wanted to put that out there. Again, hopefully it's short term, but even if it is long term, not that I'm saying that we don't need him, but I'm not like okay, we have the squad depth, we have the versatility in our squad to be able to, you know, be able to compete.
mhm.
Um,
Any Oh, sorry. And speaking of the squad depth, I know we're talking about mostly the attacking side of the game in this game. Any word on our defense, real quick, before we move on? I mean,
I think
that's
Saliba could have played today, but they just didn't. They didn't bring him. He apparently he's looking good in training.
yeah. And again, that's another decision I agree with. It's like why, he's back in training, but if we have the quality and depth, as you said, with Mascara coming in, and that's looking like a great piece of business at this moment in time. It's like why rush him? I definitely think Saliba should play against City just because that partnership of him and Gabriel, they do well against Haaland, right? So I think specifically for that matchup, I think I would bring him back in for City. But yeah, no, our defensive depth, man, is another area where we're looking, elite in that area for sure. And that's now 3 clean sheets in 4 games. The one goal in the Premier League we conceded was a wonder strike, obviously from Shabazlai. So, but otherwise, we haven't conceded an open play, and that's credit to our back line. That's credit to our goalkeeper. We have to mention David Raya, who made a great save in this game,
Mm-hmm.
fingertip save against that Chris Wood effort, right?
Yeah, for a short keeper, he's pretty agile and he can get to those deep strikes. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I think yeah, and then Trossard coming on, getting an assist for Zubimendi's third. So yeah, all in all, man, I actually feel I feel good about the squad and where we're at, to be honest with you. And I don't know for what your guys' thoughts are on this, but for me, it's like I mentioned this last podcast. I almost go into every game expecting us to be favorites from here on out because I think we got our hardest fixture of the season out of the way. I think, like again, Liverpool away to the champions. That's the hardest fixture, certainly from an Arsenal perspective, that you're going to play all season. But I go into all these games now, and it's like I expect us to come out on top, to be honest with you. Again, we're a team in a title race where, again, Mikel Arteta and his 6 years and the money spent, the investment, the squad is there. I think we've arrived, like we've definitely arrived, and I expect us, nothing less than high expectations of a big title, right? When we're talking about the Premier League, we're talking the Champions League. So I think maybe something we can do next podcast is like, looking into Arsenal's next 5 games, looking into the future a little bit, and the points tally we're expecting out of those games, or how many wins we expect out of the next 5, something like that. But yeah, for me, it's like, this week alone. I mean, yeah, you expect 2 wins. Am I being too harsh, boys? And I say that, like, I expect 2 wins from Atletico, and I expect a win from City.
I don't think you're being harsh. Not at all. Especially with the injury crisis that City have, and especially with Bilbao not looking the greatest. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Uh,
but no, I think it'll be a two tough games.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Two very tough
yeah,
games.
yeah, but
Yeah.
as potential champions of the Premier League, you got to go in and you got to play to win.
Mm.
If not trying to be funny, but if you want all that smoke, you got to show up, and you have all the weapons. You have the arsenal, right? Like you have everyone there. So, shifting gears to the rest of the Prem, starting off with Bournemouth. They beat Brighton 2-1. Semenyo, man. You
I
know,
gotta I gotta find a way to get him in my FPL, man.
bro, he,
Is he in your team?
he is. I
Mm.
got him after the first week. When I watched him play against Liverpool, I had to get him on my team. I said there's no way that I'm not gonna have Semenyo on my team. Um, he is he's gonna have a big move next year.
Yeah.
He's
Could
gonna
be us. Could be us.
Yeah, I wouldn't, depending on where Martinelli and Trossard go, yeah, it could be us because he is so versatile. Play right, he can play left, he can play down the middle, he can play false, and he's a big body, like he's not one of he's a pacey winger, but he's not a small winger. Like, a lot of the pacey wingers like a Jeremy Doku, they're tiny. Like he's got a size on him. So if he faces up against like a Dan Burn playing left back, he's going to be able to hold his own. Yeah, 2-1 Brighton again, losing, and Bournemouth third consecutive win. So they're third in the table as it currently stands. So it's looking good. Um, Newly promoted Sunderland. They get crucial points again. Um, they were one of my teams that I said that they're going to stay up this year. They drew Palace 0-0. Um, 6 saves for probably going to pronounce his last name wrong. Robin Royce, the Sunderland keeper. 6 saves. That's a lot for a keeper. And the type of players that Palace have, Mateta's been on a tear, Ismail Assar, Wharton, like they've been hot to start the season, and to have 6 saves away from home, good for them. Good for them. You got to get Mateta in your FPL too, bro. Mateta
Mm.
on fire. Everton, man, I wish this is the game that I was like hoping, like, please, like, just
Mm.
come out and play well. Grealish didn't have an amazing game. He just had a game. Ended in a nil draw. I think that's a bad result for Villa more so than Everton. Like for Everton, they're probably going into the game as the dogs. Um, I don't know what's going on with Villa. I don't know if it's the Martinez saying bye and then he ends up staying, and the FFP stuff in the background. They don't look right. I watched the highlights of the game. They don't look some things, and I don't know if it's in the background, but something doesn't look right with them. And it's weird for an Unai Emery team. He usually sets up a good team. Um, Fulham, crucial winner. I knew that um they should have won that game, but like I'm pretty sure they scored super late, eh? Let's see, Fulham leads. I think they scored, yeah, 94th minute, and it was an own goal. So
Mm.
Leeds could have like sneaked away with a point. Um, but can we just appreciate Wolves? The bottom three are Wolves, Villa, West Ham.
Villa's in the bottom three right now.
Villa is 2 draws, 2 losses. Yep.
Wow.
Wolves at 4 losses, and then West Ham is 1-3, 1-3.
Mm. Yeah, I picked Wolves to go down. I think, did we all pick Wolves to go down? No. I think Laurent picked all the promoted sides to go down.
Yeah, I pick Wolves,
Yeah.
West Ham.
Yeah, Wolves are looking poor, man.
Piss poor.
I don't know why they wouldn't, like, you lose Cunha, so you got some money recouped in there. Like, why not go in there? Like, they were kind of threatening with relegation last season. Like, bro, why not invest in the squad to keep yourself up? Like, they took a huge risk. They didn't really do nothing on this offseason.
They took such a big risk that they let this new Woltemade, 90 million from Newcastle, score his debut goal. Like,
Yeah, that's big. I think that's very. If I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm on a complete high, man. That's very. Congrats to him, actually.
yeah, and the
Um,
fact that Isak didn't play, like
yeah,
all fans are probably like enjoying themselves. They're like,
yeah,
fuck that.
yeah. No, I truly hope he has like a breakthrough season, man. First season in the storyline. Could you imagine that? Right? It's almost like we didn't. Well, Isaac kind of didn't need you this time around, kind of thing, right? So yeah.
Um, Nando's FC capitalized. They won 3-0 in the London Derby against West Ham. Um,
I swear you guys predicted that to be going the other way.
well, I mean, Solskjaer got a red card in the 50th or 50th, like in the 50th minute or so.
Hmm.
And I believe they scored two after that, but it was 1-0 prior to that. I mean, you never know. Like West Ham typically plays London teams quite difficult, and with Spurs, you never know what Spurs you're gonna get at any given day. Um, so I mean, Grant Potter is needs to be careful because they're in the relegation zone and it's 4 games in, and it does not get any easier for West Ham. So I don't know. I don't know how long he's gonna have a leash. Uh, like they face their next couple games. They're home to Palace, away to Everton, away to Arsenal, and home to Brentford. And if I'm predicting that, to be honest with you, I'm predicting Palace is probably going to be a draw, a loss to Everton, a loss to us. And I would say if he's lucky, a draw to Brentford. I wouldn't even be shocked if Brentford beat them away.
Mm.
So like they're gonna be in the relegate, like they're gonna stick in the relegation zone for a hot minute. Um, so this prediction we all got wrong.
Hmm.
Do you know which one I'm talking about? Chelsea, the soon-to-be Centurions struggle.
Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea.
They struggle against Brentford without Yohan Wissa, without Mbeumo, you know. And did you guys see that pass from Jordan Henderson? For that,
Hmm.
oof, that vision and that first touch too by Sade, that was a that was a good touch.
Very well taken goal.
Yeah, that was a striker's goal. But talk to me, Laurent. What happened to Garnacho? Alejandro.
I mean, yeah, that guy was sleeping on the defense, bro. I swear that's why we conceded that
Second,
late equalizer. Yeah. Um, but no, other than that, he's lively. He's lively. I'll
more
tell you that
lively
much.
than
And my sorry?
more lively than Madueke.
Yes. And
Wow.
I will say this. I think he's trickier than Madueke, I would say. Uh
What?
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
We're talking about
Yeah.
the same Garnacho that played at United, right? We're not talking about.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
If you look at the type of trickery that Madueke has, right? It's relying more so on the speed, right? As you guys say, it is a direct type of right. He's a direct type of player, right? And more so than that, if you were direct in that sense, right, it's you're utilizing your speed to beat your wingers and whatnot, which is not a bad thing, right? But I do believe that um, Garnacho has a bit more flair about him, is what I'd say, right? And even when he came on, man, he had his moments. For as brief as he was there, right? He had his moments. He was causing problems. Mind you, had Cole Palmer hit the right technique on that pass from Garnacho, it would have been 3-2.
Yeah.
It would have been 3-2. I think that was like the last play of the game. So no, I'm very excited to see him, and I think he is a necessary piece, especially when I factor in right Giddens, who did not have one of the best games in that position. So yeah, definitely a key piece for us.
Well, I think it's not. I mean, it's not the result that Enzo Maresca would want going into a difficult match against Bayern Munich, and that's why you guys had a rotated squad. Yeah, like Palmer didn't start, Reece James, Cucurella, um,
Right.
Marco didn't start. So,
No, I agree.
you know what I mean? Like, and this is where the difficulty comes in, right? Like last year, you were saying that, oh, we're not ready, and as much as you guys have invested heavily. I still think, and I'm not just saying this because you're a Chelsea fan and I like bantering you, but I genuinely think Chelsea's going to struggle when you guys have big midweek games. Like I think you guys are going to struggle
With the rotated side,
with a road. Yes, I think you're going to struggle, and you don't have the defensive depth. Look at your bench for defense. Like sure you have Reece James, Cucurella, but outside of that, like who else is coming for the center backs? You have wing backs. But who you playing in center back? Like if you get an injury to like Chalaba, like Fofana could go in there, but if Fofana gets injured or
man,
uh
don't even bring up that guy's name, man.
no, but I'm just being real because like the types of Champions League games that Chelsea are gonna have to play, they're not the easiest games. Like Bayern
Hmm.
first one up.
Right.
So like you guys face Bayern away, then you have Benfica at home, you have Ajax at home, you're away to Karabakh, and then you have Barcelona at home, and then you're away to Atalanta. Like these aren't, you play Napoli away, you have Pafos at home, which most likely you'll play a rotated squad. Like they're not the easiest fixtures.
Hmm. No, I agree. I agree.
And think of it,
That's mhm.
like sorry, I just wanted to like give you the context of it. Like you guys play this Wednesday against Bayern, right?
Right.
And Saturday you play United, and albeit United have been shit, but you're still going to Old Trafford. You saw what happened to us first game of the season, right? It's still Old Trafford, right?
Hmm.
And then the Benfica game midweek, the Saturday you play Liverpool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
the
no, but honestly, it's come down to that situation where obviously you guys experienced that last year. Everyone deals with injuries, right? And now you have to become resourceful. And I think as a coach too, you have to communicate that to your players and make sure that your players understand the situations, right? The club could find itself in, and in terms of like different assignments and roles, right? Making sure that players know that sometimes you could be asked, right, to play in a position you're not comfortable with, and whatnot. But it is what it is. It is what it is, and now it's up to the coach and the staff to find a way to make it work.
It's funny the game before the Champions League game before we face each other.
Hmm.
You guys face Barcelona at home and we face Bayern at home.
Oh, yeah. But
Heavy, the heavy fixture list is alive and well.
honestly, I'm excited, man. If I'm being completely honest, right? CJ knows, right? I'm always excited for big games, no matter the opponent, right? And it's to me, it's a good opportunity for one of the players, right? Because the experience gained in those big games, right, is invaluable, right, to the players. And yeah, it's just taking that on and utilizing that for the games to come, right? Win or loss, but you build on that experience, right? So that's what I'm hoping that even with the Bayern game, it's early on this in the season. If the team is good, right, in their aspects, right, and how they play, their attacking prowess, defensive prowess, that may be, that we figure out ways to adapt, right, and become better from there. And that's why I feel like, you don't get better by facing opposition that is weaker than you generally, right? So yeah, excited for those games.
I have a couple questions on like so. Okay, my first question, Laurent, who is when everyone's fit, who is Chelsea's starting left winger?
Left winger. So right now it's Giddens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Right now
And
you'd have Giddens. Depending too, like what he could do, he could put Neto actually there, and then you could even have Esteval
yeah,
on the right,
yeah.
right? So yeah, that could be a combination if everyone's fit per se, right? Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, but and like I said, I think it also depends on the other personnel, right? Before we used to utilize Palmer on the wings, but that's now he's mostly a central player for us, right? Um, so could he even go back to that position, right? That's also a good question, and maybe because we do have some players that do feel comfortable playing on the 10, and depending on right what the rotation could be, but yeah, that's who I would say, Neto or Gittins, depending on
hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so basically Garnacho doesn't get in your best 11, like you're agreeing.
So as of right now, I couldn't. Um, it's still it's still to be decided, right? Yes, he could be coming off the bench early, but depending on the performance, right? Um, as much as I do, right? It's performance based. If the coach like what he brings to the table when he gives them the minutes, then suddenly, right, that could look different. But yeah, for now, it would. I think he'd be coming off the bench. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, well, my second question is, or follow-up question is, because for me, it's like, so you said you think Garnacho is trickier than Madueke. And for me, it's almost like a like for like, right? We can debate this, and I would actually love. I think we should do a poll, guys, on this personally, like who's the better winger, who's a more productive winger, whatever, between Garnacho and Madueke. But it's almost like very like for like for me. You know what I mean? And I always say this about Chelsea, and all of us will question and joke about Chelsea's transfer policy. That's why you guys have the amount of players that you do have. It's right. It's like you one in, one out. Garnacho is even an upgrade on Madueke, and it's like you got rid of Madueke. That one puzzles me again, as I said earlier, because it's like, well, why did you get rid of him? Maybe you thought he wasn't good enough for your squad, but then you bring in a Garnacho. Is Garnacho much better, if at all, to me? And it's like, yeah, one in, one out. You did the same thing with Sancho last year, right? Jaden Sancho. Um, I don't know. I mean, you mentioned that he's trickier, you think, or like maybe you made it seem like he has more skill or more flair
Yes,
than
yes.
Madueke.
Yeah.
So okay, in what way? I'm curious to know. Like in what way? Like he has more tricks in the bag. He's more like
Um, yeah, like okay, if I were to compare
because
it,
to me, sorry,
so
before I let you in,
yeah,
to me
yeah.
he reminds me of another. Maybe I'm doing him a disservice, and this may come back to haunt me towards the end of the season. He just reminds me of another pace merchant. He reminds me of a Martinelli. Is that harsh to say? He reminds me of a Martinelli. I'm being completely honest.
No, because then he doesn't dribble head down.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I see what you're trying to say, but no, and on it, like I said, man, he did have his a good season when Ronaldo was there, right? I feel like the Garnacho that everyone talks about now is the one who, right, had that poor season, and then ever since has been, pretty much ostracized from the club. But other than that, and like I said, from even the minutes that he got, right, his decision making is quick. He does have the speed to be able to take some kind of, and like I said, he has that added flair for me, right? Yeah, ball delivery inside the box as well. I'd say even decision making. Like if he's truly not trying to be selfish, because I think that's also um a problem we face actually this game. I don't know if you guys seen the game or even the highlights.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know if those plays made it onto the highlights, but and I noticed too this from the preseason and from earlier games, but I noticed that our wingers at times are a bit selfish. Madueke was also known for that, if we're being completely honest, right? But we've had many opportunities where, you get in the box, right? And it's just the extra pass to the open man, where a guy is willing now to just take it on selfishly. If you score, no one says anything. But most often times, right, it doesn't happen. Like Neto had one where he was in the box. He could have passed it, I think, to Pedro or Palmer, but he decided to lace it and it hit right. So the ball came, like someone gave him a ball down the line through the legs, right? He's cutting into the box. The kind of left defender behind. Now the defender's chasing after him, and he decides to shoot. Meanwhile, Pedro is literally there asking for the ball, right? So it's those extra passes, right?
But they
And
also
I feel,
played
yeah,
together for a while, right? Like the connections aren't there yet. Still
yeah,
early.
yes. I don't disagree, but I do feel like inherently, right? If yeah, it's just the team mentality, right? Yes, everything moves fast. He probably thought from his perception that he had the shot, right? But these things, it's like, you let the ball move, right? You see your guy, you let the ball move, and then you allow him to take the shot, right? And I've seen too many of these thus far, right? But I feel like it's yeah, the players are young as well, and you kind of have to have a certain level of maturity, right, to even make those kind of passes, in those scenarios. Yeah.
Murda, do you agree? I mean, I know you're not going to agree, but like in terms of the Garnacho and Madueke thing, because I do find we're spending time on this, but I do find it a very interesting topic, to be honest with you. Like,
I think it's harsh to say that I wouldn't compare him to Martinelli because I do think that he has something that Martinelli doesn't. Like I think he is Argentinian. I think he is South American. We don't need to check the passport. Whereas with Martinelli, you do need to check the passport. Um, I think the one I think it's similar to an Anthony situation, right? I think they came into Manchester United. The club is in shambles, and you saw Anthony go to Betis, and he's back at Betis now, and he's been on a tear, right? He almost helped Betis beat Chelsea in the Conference League. Um, and I think it's a good change in scenery for Garnacho. Um, but when I compare him to Madueke and what Chelsea means, I personally think that Madueke would be better because I think they already have enough flair players in a Pedro Neto and Gittins and you know um like I think they just need someone that's just gonna take the ball and just be direct. And I think Garnacho sometimes one too many tricks, one too many, like it's just one too many. He's not like, we're talking about Madueke just not having that extra touch. I think it happens less often. I think when he does take that extra touch, there's still like you can see why he's doing it. Whereas with Garnacho, it's like you've already beat your man. He's on the ground and you're still going back to do like to run around him before you go direct. And I think that year that you're alluding to, Laurent, when Ronaldo was there, I think Ronaldo probably pulled him aside and said, "Hey, once you beat your man, just go direct." And he didn't have that last year, and you saw that he would come on, he'd make one good play, get past his guy, and then all of a sudden he's trying to like beat another three, four guys. It's like once you beat the guy, just cross it. So I wouldn't. I think he's better than Martinelli, this version of Martinelli. But I still don't get it from a Chelsea standpoint, like why?
Wait, plus Madueke plays on the right for you guys, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's probably going to play on the left a lot too, though, when Saka's fit.
How do you guys feel about him on the left? Because remember what I told you initially, even before the move happened, while it was happening, I told you he's not comfortable with his right foot.
Hmm.
That's the one thing, right, that I can tell you. Like I've seen him play there, and it looks very awkward when he's trying to go from left to right.
Yeah, but those traditional like wingers way back when you'd have a right footer on the right side and a left footer on the left side. And then with the type of team that we have, those low crosses into the box, I wouldn't mind having that,
Mm,
right? And who knows, maybe they swap wings mid-game because we've been asking for that between Saka and Martinelli, and they did that the 20 to 23 season, if I'm not mistaken. Like they would swap wings all the time.
okay.
Give the defense something else to consider, right?
Mm.
Maybe Saka comes in, Madueke goes on the right, and Eze goes on the left, right? Cause a little bit of havoc, right? So it's that it's the tactics of it, right? And like to CJ's point, is Arteta going to do something like that? But I think it also comes down to the players. When you're in the game and you see something, change it, change it.
I agree. I agree, and that is why I applaud Maresca for making those changes when he did. Have time, and there's already a new set of players, right,
Yeah.
coming in for us. So yeah.
Um, One of the last two big games of the weekend, Burnley. They almost did it. They almost did it. Um,
Wait, what'd they do? Like,
they almost stole a point. They almost stole a point. I was going into this game thinking Liverpool were going to score like five against them. They struggled to score one. And handball turned into handball. Like, what are you doing?
It's fucking
Bro, what
stupid.
are you doing?
Fucking waste, man, bro.
Like, you were 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So not much
Bro,
to talk about. Liverpool's escape again with a late winner. Like, I mean, hey,
honestly, if I'm a Liverpool fan and I see, I can accept that because it's a tenacity for me. That's what champions do.
so I'm glad you
It's
said
it's
that. Hold on.
it's 3 points.
I'm glad you said that because I sent a photo right before the pod,
Mm.
and this was the quote. Arsenal played bad Manchester United. Sorry, Arsenal played bad at Manchester United and win 1-0. The media says Arsenal's poor and they got lucky. Liverpool played bad at newly promoted 10-man Burnley and win in the 95th minute via penalty. And the media says this is the stuff of champions. So which one is it?
Yeah, stuff of champions. They pressure them. You guys didn't really pressure United like that. That game that you were specifically referring to. This was
Okay.
caused due to like overwhelming pressure. This was nothing else but the pressure of that club, and they got that handball out of that pressure.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But Arsenal played arguably the worst game they've played so far in this small sample size. And the pressure that United put on, we still walked away with the win. So we got lucky, and Liverpool are like that's what champions are made. But aren't champions made also from winning when you are having a terrible day at the office?
Wait, who are the champions here?
No, I'm just saying, aren't champions like just in general? I'm just like it's a statement.
Right, right.
Aren't
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
right? So you see what I mean? I'm just putting it out there. It's not an arguing point. It's just putting it out there.
I
Um,
think I just feel like I feel like it's from my perspective, it's annoying because people keep saying like, especially the Arsenal fans who are the optimistic ones are trying to say yeah, I mean, hey, maybe you fall in this category. I don't know, but the ones that are saying, oh yeah, like surely this can't keep happening. Like, Liverpool can't keep doing this. They can't keep just grinding out these late winners. And but for me, it's like if they didn't get a certain someone, the elephant in the room, I would agree. I'd be like, sure, yeah, they're gonna drop off eventually. They can't keep doing this. They were playing, to your point, Murdad. They're playing this poor against a Burnley team who just got promoted, right? And this is a repeat pattern of their games, right? They played a negative Arsenal team. Let's be real. When they played us a couple weeks ago, that was a negative version of Arsenal who didn't really come to try and win. We came to contain and draw and maybe snatch it late, like a mid-table team would, right? Let's be honest. We didn't really play. We didn't get at them the way we should have. And if we did choose to get at them, I think we could have got something more from the game. So that's 2 games in a row. And then, we could take it even further than that. We go back to Newcastle with 10 men at St. James's Park. We go back to the first game of the season, Bournemouth, when they let Bournemouth come back after a 2-goal lead. It's like we're not seeing the best version of Liverpool right now, right? And I would subscribe to those positive Arsenal fans who are saying, they can't keep this up, surely. They can't keep playing this poorly. And eventually the points, they're not going to get this lucky. They're not going to be able to get the points. And I would almost agree to that if the elephant in the room wasn't the case. It's like we've said last week. I've been saying this for weeks. I've been preaching this all summer. They just signed the player in the Premier League, So I would fully support us and back us and expect a Liverpool drop off if the current crop of what they have now is what they were going to have throughout the season. But they have something else to add to this, guys. Right? So the positive outlook, if I'm a Liverpool fan, is shit. We're playing this poorly. We still have 4 out of 4, right? We have maximum points in 4 games, and we're not playing well. And we have something to add to this side. It's like,
But what they
that's what discourages me as an Arsenal fan, right? So they're 4 out of 4. They have max points. They're lucky, but they have 4 wins, so no one can chat to them because they have 4 wins at the end of the day. Forget the context of it. They have 4 wins. That's what matters. The points on the board. Not playing well. Gradually, a team will get better once more players gel, right? Verts maybe will gel more. Ekatike, so on, and they'll gradually get better as the season progresses, right? It is a stuff of champions when they're not playing well, but they're still maxing points, and they can progressively get better as a team. And like I said, they have something very strong waiting in the background to add to this. That's what discourages me as an Arsenal fan.
I just think they're defensively very they're walking on thin ice because they have one injury to their center backs either, and I think they're no
That I agree with. Yeah, I agree with that.
they have the firepower up front to be able to score as many goals as they need, but I think it's going to make it a lot more difficult for them if they have an injury to the center backs. Last game before we move on to the Champions League, just doing our quick predictions, chatting about some of the games in the 3 match days. The Manchester Derby, not what I expected. I didn't expect such a friendly game. I think Roy Keane said it, and as I was watching the post-match interview, like United didn't even have a card. United didn't even get a yellow card. And you're playing the Manchester, like surely, CJ, if I were to ask you if we're facing Spurs, if I give you the odds of one and like over under 1.5 cards in the game, you're gonna smash the over.
Mhm.
And it was weird that United, like, there's really nothing there. No yellow cards, like nothing.
Hmm.
I mean, both sides, eh? Like it was very,
Oh, even City didn't have a card.
yeah, it was very tame.
Hmm.
It was very tame, and that's not what you expect in a derby game. Benjamin Tesco didn't do anything. He got taken off. Um,
Mm. Well, it go.
Donnarumma had an unreal save, and I feel for Trafford. You came here, you came back to the club, and he could have stayed at Burnley, and he would have been starting week in and week out. And he came here, and now he's gonna have to fight for his place. Um, I don't know. And the robot scored two again. Um, yeah.
it just goes to like so you're saying no yellow cards and whatnot. Like it goes to show the gap between the two sides again, really, right? Because clearly United were the dominant side, and sorry, not United, City were the dominant side. And I saw you guys talking in the group chat earlier about United, and they're clearly better than last year. They're a different team, but I mean, at the end of the day, right? For how much of a mess they were, and they still are. There's still a while before they actually click into gear. To be honest with you, right? And yeah, I'm glad I changed my prediction towards the end from the last podcast because there's always only going to be one winner in this, right? Like City, it was just too much for them on the day, right? They're too strong, too structured, right? They had a point to prove. Certain guys like Phil Foden came to play, and Phil Foden normally does come to play in the derby. And to be honest with you, before Laurent jumps in, my 2 cents on this is, yeah, these two results today. Again, looking at it from an Arsenal lens, not great. I'm not overly pleased about it. The saving grace for Arsenal before City comes to them is that, yeah, as we said, they have Champions League midweek and they play 2 days after us, so less recovery time when they play on Thursday. But this is a positive result for a City team who is going to look to bounce back, right? They're going to look to bounce back. They're going to, full of confidence, 3 goals. They're going to come to the Emirates now, maybe on a different buzz, whereas 2 weeks ago when they're coming off a loss, different story, right? And these two results today, like I said, from an Arsenal perspective, not that I'm worried, but it's like, of course, you keep an eye on them because if Burnley does draw that Liverpool game, um, and or Laurent's prediction even comes true, which is that United snatch 1 point, if not three, then yeah, we're looking at this in a completely different way. But a late winner from Liverpool makes it even much more difficult for us next week because at this early stage, believe it or not, like all the points matter, right? And right now we're 3 points behind Liverpool because we lost those points when we lost to them a couple weeks ago. So we're 3 points behind. If Liverpool take care of business this coming weekend, which we'll get to, I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Liverpool this weekend because they have Everton. That's going to be a Merseyside derby. But if Liverpool take care of business, and they play before us, they play on the Saturday. So if they take care of business this weekend and beat Everton, they go 6 points ahead of us until we play. We play the following day, next Sunday against City. City, who's coming off of a high from smashing United. So again, the points count. And Murdoch, you were mentioning obviously about our title race and our chances, and all it takes is one center back injury to Liverpool. I agree with that. So we're preying on the downfall of an injury to one of their center backs at the moment because that's how vulnerable they are. It is very true, right?
Yeah.
They're walking on thin ice with that, at least until January, because they could go back in for a Mark Gahey in January. But for now, you're absolutely right that they're walking on thin ice with the Van Dijk and Konate partnership. Everywhere else in the squad, they look strong and they're solid, but yeah, one of those guys go down, it's true. Like they it could be that type of fine margin could make the difference. So I mean, right now they're both fit and healthy, and that's what we have to take it for at face value. If they're fit, they're healthy, and for as long as those guys are fit and healthy, they're gonna be strong. And I mean, that's a clean sheet again for them today. That's again, like I said, they maintain 3 point gap ahead of us, and again, them going into the Merseyside derby next weekend, with us having City, a City who just smashed United. We have to hope that we stay in the race. I think that's all it is, right? We stay in the race, stay close to them. Even if they beat Everton next weekend and we beat City, we're still 3 behind them. Just stay in the race, right? That's the most important thing at this. We can't allow that gap to increase. Um, yeah, we can't allow that gap to increase. I think we just need to stay in the race for as long as possible until we meet them again. Say when they come to the Emirates, right? That's when we have to beat them. But it's all about keeping close. I think, right? Every point counts, even at this early stage in the season. So yeah, for the Man City game, I think again we'll do the breakdown more so on the Thursday, but it's going to be interesting how they approach this now, right? Because a couple weeks ago I was thinking that they were looking vulnerable, and now this result is going to give them a confidence boost. You know,
Just before we move on to the Champions League, I just want to say my overachieving team, Everton, currently in sixth place, ahead of Sunderland, who is in seventh, and ahead of Manchester City, who was in eighth. So just saying, you guys gave me a lot of a lot of banter for taking Everton as overachieving, but you know. Match day one, Champions League is back. Arsenal head to Bilbao to face Athletic Club. I think historically we've struggled there, but I think giving Declan Rice the rest, I think he's definitely going to start, and Again, I'm going in here thinking that we're gonna win. We have to win. I don't even want to talk about anything else but a win. I think CJ, you said it earlier, like we should be favorites on every game. So I don't even want to spend too much time on this because we're gonna predict it a little later. Um, Juve faced Dortmund. Um, gonna be a close match, and I would predict if I'm a betting man, I would predict a draw. I mean,
Really?
I am a betting man, and I am predicting a draw. I don't see much in this game. I think it's going to be a 1-1. I wouldn't even be shocked if it's a 0-0 draw. Um, Madrid, they should take care of business. Xabi Alonso, I feel like he won Manager of the Month. I think he's gonna come out flying. I think he wants to try to make a statement to say that Madrid's back, and I think they're gonna beat up on Marseille. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be like 2-3 goals against Marseille. Um, Nando's FC take on Villarreal. Again, you don't know what Spurs you're gonna get. They should beat Villarreal. But if I am a betting man, I am avoiding this game like the plague because I do not know which Spurs you're gonna get. Right? Spurs typically play well, Champions League games, but again, if they go down early or if they, get a call and Christian Romero loses his head, you know, but that's how vulnerable they are though, right? Like, you got Richarlison there, you got um Romero. If they lose their head, you never know what you're gonna get. And then the last one for match day one, Ajax play Inter Milan. Again, that one, it should be Milan to win. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a draw. Um, I don't know. I don't think Milan look good. I know my friend John, he's gonna kill me for saying that, but if I'm a betting man, which I am a betting man, I would not be touching that game because I don't trust, do not trust that Milan are gonna be able to do it. Um, Match day two, the Wednesday, we got big match ups, big Bayern Chelsea, huge game.
Yep.
PSG Atalanta and Liverpool Atletico Madrid, which, you know, Atleti, do what you got to do. You play dark arts, you do whatever you got to do. Do whatever voodoo spell you want to put on Liverpool, just do it and get it done.
I think this would be a good test for Liverpool, actually, given also the defensive nature of the Atleti side.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think this would be a very good test.
but they're not playing well. They're 11th in La Liga. They beat Villarreal yesterday, but they've drawn two, they lost one. So they're not looking, I mean, they won the last game, but
I
they're
mean,
not,
usually in the Champions League, they do perform, no? Like,
yeah, they do. They do.
yeah,
They do.
You guys think Isak makes his debut?
No.
yeah. I
Off the bench.
believe there was talks of that, no?
Yeah, off the bench, yes, but not
Yeah.
a starter.
Mm.
And then last match day three, Club Bruges take on Monaco. Eintracht Frankfurt without Ekitike take on Galatasaray. Man City play Napoli, which is going to be a difficult game. And I would say arguably the second biggest match. Did I say this? Second or third biggest match of the first week? Newcastle take on Barcelona without Lamine Yamal. And dare I say, dare I say, I think Newcastle take it.
Hmm. How do you figure that?
St. James Park factor, under the lights, no Lamine Yamal. and they're gonna play a physical game, and I don't think Barcelona does well when the games get physical.
Does the new guy score?
Woltemade? Nope.
Really?
I think it's gonna be Gyökeres, Dan Burn, Lewandowski, and Anthony Elanga.
Mm,
Yo,
okay.
damn, your predictions are wild for this one. So you think it's gonna be like 3-1 Newcastle?
Yeah, I think Anthony Elanga scores on a counter towards the end of the game.
Damn.
I do feel like I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but I think this game could set the tone for how Newcastle is going to perform in this competition going forward, at least for the season.
I think they're gonna
Whether
come out
yeah,
guns blazing.
yeah,
Right?
so yeah, no, I'll definitely be tuning in to that one. Yeah.
Well, you're definitely gonna be tuning in because this is one of the three games we're gonna predict. Um, so last week, we all got the Chelsea game wrong. Laurent got the City game wrong, so he only got 1 point predicting Arsenal right. CJ and I got the Arsenal game right and the City game right. So CJ is sitting with 7 points, and Laurent and I are tied at 6, respectively. Um, so Laurent, would you like to predict the Arsenal game first, or would you like me to predict it first? I'm okay with either way.
Arsenal versus Athletic Club.
I'm picking Arsenal for the win.
Me too. Let's get that out there.
Wait, whoa. You can't speak out of order, bro.
Sorry,
You
coach.
gotta
Wait, you
follow.
guys are away though, right?
Yeah, we're away.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Uh, uh,
CJ, I like this energy. I rate it. I like the energy.
Yeah, bro. It's for
Speaking
the
out of turn, just being like, yo, give me that fucking Arsenal.
I don't want to waste anyone's time, I feel, this would be a straightforward one.
Give me 1 sec. I'm just checking something here. I think I'm going to.
Are you doing your best CJ impression?
That's what I'm saying. You're allowing this, Murdad, as professor? Like this guy's
No,
doing
I'm
homework.
still giving him shit.
He's doing homework during the exam. Like what's going on?
I'm
Oh,
giving
yo,
you
you
shit.
guys already slapped these guys back in August. I just took that in.
Preseason though, mind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have transfers and all that on their end too.
Just
You
Nicky
say
guys,
Williams.
because I know you want to say draw. Go ahead.
yeah, I do want to say draw
I know you
because
do.
they're at home. Yeah, I'm just gonna say draw just to be contrarian.
Okay, I'm picking Bayern Munich for the Chelsea game.
Like what you did there.
Why?
You know what you did, bro.
You you're away to Bayern.
Okay,
So you're picking Chelsea?
of course. The fuck?
CJ?
This guy, man. I'm with you. I'm picking Bayern.
Okay. It's good to know. It's good to know who the ops are.
No, it has
You know what
nothing
I mean?
to do
It's good to
against
know.
you. It has
It's good,
nothing to do against you. You're traveling to
it's,
Germany.
it's
Yeah,
good
fam.
it's
If
good to
it
know who
was,
your enemies are. They just
Fam, these are calculated predictions. Like
bro,
all right, all right.
if it was at Stamford Bridge, I'd pick a draw. But it's not at Stamford Bridge.
All
You're
right.
away.
that
Yo,
said, I wouldn't even predict a Chelsea win if it
can
was
you
on the bridge.
calculate what's gonna come out of yeah, fucking guys. All right, it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Newcastle, Barcelona.
Uh, this one's tricky still. Well, Murda, we know your prediction.
I'm gonna pick a draw.
What the fuck? Didn't you say Newcastle win
Yeah.
like 3-1?
Yeah, I said it, but like I also don't want to lose a jersey. I want to win a free jersey.
Hmm.
Laurent?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Barcelona. Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I predict draw. No Lamine Yamal. Yeah, I'm predicting draw. Fuck, but Barca could win this game. I don't see Newcastle winning, I'll tell you that much.
This is crazy. I mean, yeah, I guess they're at home, but damn, bro, like, yo, you guys are acting like Barcelona is not elite.
Nah, you're right. I'm going Barca.
It's not a matter of
But
Barca not being elite. It's a matter of
I was gonna say, yo, honestly, just lock it in, bro. I don't let this guy change his. Wow,
What do you mean? I said, can I not pick Barca?
wow. Yo, we got to start locking it in, eh? None of that, like, oh, but because he's done that twice now. First
Okay,
time,
but
yeah, you gotten away with it. You got your points. Uh-huh.
fam, it's within the span of 30 seconds. Like, relax yourself. Yeah, man, acting like I changed my prediction like the next day.
You annoying you, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't go back to the fucking drive and start, you know, like editing the damn thing, bro.
Just respect
Like,
the champion, bro. I don't win by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, have some respect.
so it's okay. Before I say what I'm about to say next, this is locked in. Head-to-head record. It's 3 wins for Newcastle. Sorry, 3 wins for Barca, 1 win for
yeah, it's about to say what?
yeah.
3 wins to Newcastle. There's no fucking way. Yeah.
So last time that they won was 3-2 match day one. Believe it was was it last year? The last time they were in what year was this? Oh no, this was 97. Yeah. This was 97 that they won 3-2.
Oh, that's the last time they faced?
No, no, no. That's not the last time they faced.
Oh.
So they faced 97, 97, 98. They faced twice. They split 3-2 at St. James's, 1-0 at the Camp Nou. And then Matt 2-2-0-3, Barca won 2-0. And then this was 2002, 3-1, Barcelona won. I don't think Newcastle wins, but I do think they're gonna come out swinging, and I think a draw. I mean, I already blocked it in. I think they're gonna get a draw out of it.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna change my yeah, let
We
me
can
let me
we
change
can
it.
change now.
Yeah, yo, seriously, like we've all got an opportunity to change it once.
All right, no, I'm just
And
saying you did all that talking shit to me, and then
yeah, gracefully, I would request a change, please. Sorry.
Granted
Uh,
on conception.
I put me down for Newcastle United, please.
are you serious?
Hell yeah. Ain't fucking around. I think like I said, this sets the tone. I feel like this club has go especially given what they've gone through in recent night, they have like a chip on their shoulder, in my opinion. Um and yeah, I'm curious too about this new guy and see
Woltemade, 90
yeah,
mil.
yeah, yeah.
You guys have all just gone left field here. That's
What do you mean?
crazy.
Draw is not left field. Let's say
No,
New.
no, no. Well, no, but like at first you said win. You said like, oh yeah, they'll win, and then 3-1. Anthony Lang on the counter and all that, and then this guy goes draw, and then Laurent, fam, what's going on here? I rate it though. All right, I rate it.
All right. Well, another one's in the books, fellas. I think the last couple, actually the last pod, if you guys have not listened to any of the last pod, I highly recommend it. It was a very funny finish. Um,
Pause.
why don't you take us away? Episode
Me or
32.
CJ?
No, 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 you can take us away.
All right. Well, once again, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with as many people as you think would take value from the content. Tune in this week, right, for some exciting Champions League games. We all believe that our clubs are going to go out there and perform, and rightfully so. And other than that, we'll see each one of y'all next Thursday. Or should I say next Friday, actually, since that's when we will drop the recording. And thanks again to everyone for tuning in.
I like it. All right. Adios.